It's frickin' freezing in here, Mr. Bigglesworth. It's true. See, look, that new bright light. It's like a studio light.
What bright light?
That bright light.
Ow!
I told you it's because we normally have the door closed, and so that shop light is not being shown. So we're actually in kind of higher definition.
Hello.
Hello, it's Friday. It's Friday. I was a little aghast at how many questions there were because we have it like, for one reason or another, things work out oddly. Last week, 19 to 20 minutes of part of the video were in slow motion.
I'm not in charge of that part, so I don't know what happened.
I have no idea what happened. I have no idea what happened because you upload the segments and then it would be really weird that you could actually, I would go to a segment, find out that it was low, correct it, go to the next segment, correct that, go back to the previous one, and it's on a low setting again. And I would correct it repeatedly. I actually rebuilt the video from scratch, and it still did it.
Sorry.
So I don't know what that was. Hopefully we're not in slow-mo right now.
I know. Should I go? Actually, then I should go. Am I to normal speed?
I don't know. I guess so. Well, let's do wrist check.
He just made the same noise he makes when he sees a cute cat.
Look at that. It's so surprising and pleasing. Man, I kind of forgot about that watch.
It's so comfortable.
Is it?
Yeah, I can't even tell I'm wearing it.
Yeah, you have to tell me how the accuracy's doing. I need to check that. I serviced that a while ago, and the movement was a wee bit rough. It's really cool, though. You know, with the running seconds at the bottom. And I love the dial font. It's a beautiful Hamilton. This post-war Hamilton stuff, in my opinion, is the highest grade American watches ever made. The quality after the war was astonishing. Their stuff is really good. Okay, so now why don't you hold that? I'm still wearing my great uncle's Rolex Explorer. I haven't come up with a plan to think about how this lume is slightly too green for me. This is a reprinted original dial. I have the original dial for this watch, and it's destroyed. But I've kept it for a long time. I feel I have a little better skills now, so I've actually been working on that dial, and we'll see if I do any better with it. But there it is. I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, hang on.
Is there mail today? November 11th. Oh, so the school they fucked off today. So it's not Veterans Day.
Well, right, 11/11 is Armistice Day.
Well, I didn't know why the kids were home.
I still don't know why they're home.
I don't think no, the schools didn't call me.
It's Friday, right?
I don't know. Yes, Friday the 10th. I mean, it's too late to take them to school now, but
Wait, so who told you that they had...
No, I saw it on the calendar. I'm kidding.
God, can you imagine? Be like, kids, you've got to finish up your school day, even though it's been over for an hour.
No, I guess I was confused. I don't know how these things work. But anyway, so, hold on. Some questions are going to be a redo, but also I want to tell at the beginning of the video this time, rather than at the end, that people didn't even make it to apparently. We have new stickers and stuff on the website in the merch tab. So, okay.
Yeah, and I actually have some new T-shirt ideas. Looking at old some cool old watch promotional line art stuff from back in the day, and some of it looks. It's generalized stuff. It's not copyrighted, but it looks really cool. So that's what I'm thinking about, because I want to have a wider variety of T-shirts.
We want to do lots of things.
Yeah, we want to do. There's all kinds of activities that I wanted to do. I go through my watch bench and I should do a video on that. I should do a video on that. Oh, speaking of videos, Sebastian's rocks are going to be done this afternoon. Just remind me to do rocks. Okay,
and I thought you would have plugged those ones in somewhere.
Oh, I completely forgot about it. That was 2 days ago.
Oh no.
It's okay.
They're going to be cemented.
No. You tumble them and they're fine.
Oh, okay.
So, the thing is just damn loud.
I know. I don't know where to put it.
What you need is a sound cabinet that has cooling fans.
Yes.
That's what you need.
Oh, well. Anyway, so I'm going to do a few mail call 202 questions.
Oh, wait, we could redo the shed for those things. Remember, that was an old idea of ours.
That was our original plan.
Oh, okay, well, we'll get back to it.
Okay. From Sawbrook. Production dating 7S260020, aka the SKX0007. Possible that a 66 is June 96, 2006, 2016, up to a certain point. A movement, then B, then C. But if the watch is NOS, how would you even guess without checking the movement? I ask him that often.
Well, you know, we have, no, that wouldn't help. Wait. I was thinking, okay, I've got two 007s, and I know Willow's has a B movement in it. Sadie's, I hope, is an A, but it might be a C. I don't remember. But if one of them is the earlier A, and I know the next one is a B, and they didn't have the Bs for very long. So, I don't know, that would maybe give you a serial number range.
Yeah, but then is it 96 or 2016?
Well, that's the thing, though, is when they really did not make the B for very long. So outside of a very, you know that if it's like 6 for 96 or 2006, you know for a fact that the Bs were not made in the 2000s. They were only made in the 90s or however it works out. And so you can discard the later ones right off the bat. So I need to check. Well, first I need to find them, and then I need to figure out which one is which.
How do you do that?
Well, the one I find with Sadie's, I'm just gonna have to take the case backs off.
So that answers the question. The case backs have to be taken off.
But it shouldn't. The only problem is that I'm sure it's Willow's. I know Willow's has the B, and it's right in the safe cabinet. I know exactly where it is. So I find Willow's B, and we know when that was made, and well, hell, I'll go get it. I couldn't rest. I found them, and I wanted to guess. Well, I didn't want to guess. I was looking at them. I'm like, I can't guess. I can't do that. Hey, I set the time wrong. Hang on just one second. I was trying to fidgetize something, and I instead defidgetized it. There we go.
But looking at them, you can't tell which is which?
Well, no, because the only difference is on the inside. It's the movement. There's
right.
I haven't looked at the case backs yet. Oops, that one's upside down. Okay, so come on, which one says Will? Aha. Willow's is an A. Sadie's is a B.
Wow, I would have gotten it wrong.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I can't believe they got reversed. I have no, well, no. Well, this one I bought used off of eBay. This was Sadie's. This one was trade-in, I believe. No, I think I bought this one. I think I got one when you could still get them new, but after they were discontinued. I think that's when I got this one, which doesn't make any sense because it's an A. I must be talking about this one. But wait, this is Sadie's. I'm super confused. In any case, Sadie's is the B. So this is the Willow. Which one says Willow? Aha, I'm holding Willow, which is the A. This one says 221412. I would assume, therefore, that is 1992. Because it's not 2002, so it's 1992.
But what year did they start?
Right around then. So this is actually, Willow's is actually a really early one. That's weird. And then Sadie's, ooh, she got a nice number there, 880020. So that's going to be 98. So they were still cranking out the B's.
It was introduced in 96.
There she is. So wait a second, but then how can this thing have an A if that's the
Did you put the wrong backs on?
Oh, I did not.
I don't know.
Oh, I did not. How dare you? Stainless 7S2. Oh, I've got it upside down again. These are absolutely the original movements. There's no question whatsoever about that. I mean, I haven't, here, you want to know how I know these are original, honey? I haven't serviced either one ever in the whole time I've owned them, because they mostly just live in the safe. So I know I haven't taken them apart. I suppose it's possible I could have switched the casebacks. I mean, this is not the first time that I've been looking at A's versus B's.
You had to have. It makes no sense.
That makes, or did I get it backwards again? This is the way it works. This is the way it works for me. So you do something and you know it's the right way, but it's the wrong way. So, okay, so you flip it, because obviously it's the other way, and it's the wrong way. Then you have to flip it back again. It's like a USB cable, actually. I did not flip them this time. I did not exchange them this time. I'm gonna have to go and find really old posts about this one. No, actually that's not true. I have the box for Willows, and I think it might have the warranty paperwork in it.
Yes.
Hang on. For a second I thought Sadie's box was up there, but no.
And he has a box that the box is in, and the box is like 25 years old.
Yeah, it's Kinko's box. I've had it. I used to work at Kinko's. So anyway, though, here's Willow's paperwork from Willow's SKX. At least I think it's Willow's.
It says it on there.
Does it?
It said it on, no.
Wait, where's the other paperwork? Oh, you're hiding it. Okay.
There, see?
All right.
Wait, is it backwards for them?
Maybe. Okay, there you go. Okay, watch serial 221412. The date is 7/11/2002.
There you go.
So up to 2002, they were still the A's. The A's, rather. And then that means Sadie's B, whichever one is Sadie's. I wrote Willow. Ah, there's Willow. There's Willow's. Where's the other? Oh, it's over here. Let's see. I got it. I will service them. I swear. I'll make time. So hers is a B880020. So by 98, they were the B. So that means the C must have started shortly after that. I need to know how long the B's were made. I know it wasn't terribly long.
I don't know. I don't feel like researching it right this second.
Yes, me neither. There was a question somewhere back there. I don't know
it was Saul asking how can you tell which is which, and I think this whole production kind of shows that it's not very easy.
No, it's not. It's not. Which one is Willow's? Oh, you're holding Willow, right? Here's Sadie. Okay, this goes back into the Willow box. And I guess what's the next question?
Hang on. Gareth Brennan, hello S&S. So here's a question for Spencer. It's obvious you work from home, and I'm wondering, do you give yourself a daily set timetable that you work like a routine, or do you jump in and out of jobs at your leisure?
I don't know,
but it easy to work from home. You seem to be pretty happy and grounded, so I'm assuming it works well for you.
I want to live in that reality.
Keep living the dream. It is a dream.
No, we are both neurodivergent.
In case you didn't know.
So, I mean, we are, ASD and, ADHD and a whole bunch of other stuff. So my organization just doesn't work. Pretty much everything I do is in a panic.
And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the thing, and it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be organized, and this is how, and then I just forget it.
Yeah, then I'm walking through, going from one place to the other, and you're on the couch doing surveys. So,
I will do the things I started, I swear.
I have to, how I work is, if I have a schedule, I schedule into job board. And also in the old days when I had a ton of work, like 4 years of work in here, and that's not an exaggeration, I used to have a job log, like an Excel sheet, and that helped me in terms of organization. I had to have that. But without that, I really I do my best work on things that interest me. Of course, watches interest me, but it's hard to force myself to go 1, 2, 3, and that's where having an external list helps. I mean, I guess I should be happier. I get to do my hobby every single day. I don't have to leave home, which has been a fervent wish of mine for about 40 years. I don't know. It's a good time. I'm very, very fortunate that I'm neurodivergent in a way that makes what I do possible. And the only reason it makes it possible, connected to the neurodivergence, is that I'm laser focused on watches and watch work. I started out not being able to do anything, none of this stuff. But because I was determined and consistent and focused, I was able to learn that skill. But that's true of anybody and for any skill at all. I mean, what was it? There was somebody who set out how to, oh God, I almost had it, do something that they had never done before, like some sport or some instrument. And it was something.
What, Dave Grohl?
No,
so
no.
You have to suck at something before you get better?
Well, that is true. No, the person was like, I want to see. Oh, that's the thing. He was not a golfer. Dude had never been a golfer, had no interest in golfing whatsoever. So he's like, let's do an experiment. And so he went to like super hardcore golf pros and he was practicing every single day he could play, he played. And he was, I think, approaching like pro level in terms of being able to excel at golf. I mean, something like that. I'm probably misremembering details. Point being, if you focus on something, I would rather be, intelligence doesn't outweigh determination and focus, basically. You can be the smartest person on the planet, and if you're not out doing something about it, then, you know, the next person over who might not be moving as fast, but they keep going, they stay on that thing.
Wow, it's like that was a story.
It is true. But you know, the funny thing is you don't really feel the reality of it until you actually start getting better at something you didn't think you'd be able to do. Guitar. I just need to practice. See, I haven't been practicing, so I haven't been getting better. Well, anyway, so what's going on?
Nothing. Okay.
Ugh, sorry, I have a drinking problem. I don't have very often to get to use that one.
No. Oyster3694, hey guys, thank you for answering my question. I have another. Is there any way to restore an old stiff vintage Seiko rubber strap? I don't think it's cracked, but it probably will if it's worn. Again, you guys are great, and I'm up to about episode 40.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry.
I am sorry. Not that I am aware of. You can make them temporarily more flexible if you put them in really hot water. And they get really floppy, but it doesn't really last. But you can use it at that time to mold it to your wrist, provided you let it cool down enough. But my understanding, based on what other people have, taught me or told me about, is you start getting, because rubber is flexible because it's amorphous, it has no internal structure. Over time, though, it's going to develop where it starts to basically crystallize. And when it starts crystallizing, then you're having structures. And if the connections between those structures are also themselves weak, then the whole thing can go. I don't know of anything that can permanently go in and basically reintegrate that structure into something amorphous. People have told me over the years that things like that exist. I think I've tried a few of them. I don't think I ever had any success, because if I had, I'd remember, probably.
Okay, so the next two questions were in last week, so either you saw it or you saw it.
Are they at regular speed or are they slowed down?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll find out.
Okay, Connor Whitworth 5182, new Navigator Timer GMD SPB 411J1 reissue, looks good, really good. Another step closer towards a Pogue in 2024. Omega have no issue continually pushing the moon watch. Why don't Seiko seriously celebrate the illustrious and historically important 6139 movement? Zenith also pushed the El Primero. A lot of bitch and whine about the cost of higher-end Seiko watches, but the Pogue deserves serious treatment in the movement department and should therefore be priced accordingly, but only if Seiko makes an effort. By the way, vintage Seiko chronographs are still incredible value for money versus, say, a vintage Hoyer chronograph. Does the brand name hold more sway? Is there more than a little bit of snobbishness involved?
I'll tell you a little story. I've actually told that story before, but every now and then I go into what?
No, I'm listening.
Oh, I thought I over talked to you.
No.
Okay. I did a little thought experiment to myself at a certain point. I was looking through my watch boxes and I was having a nicely neurodivergent day, but I was looking at my 000 Rolex Submariner from '87, and I looked at it and I was in a different watch mode, not more like old watch mode. I was thinking aesthetically different. I looked at it, I'm like, that's okay, I guess. I mean, yeah, I get it, that's neat. But at the same time, I was like, huh. But then I was like, well, that watch is worth like 5 figures. All of a sudden, the watch got better looking. It was really strange. And I thought about that name, Rolex. I mean, really on your wrist and all the crap that comes to your head. So yeah, snobbishness definitely makes things feel better, doesn't it?
I guess.
I mean, I have a poor man's Hoyer, which is, made by Hoyer. It's the Lejour 7750, made by Hoyer, and in every single way. They made everything. Only thing different is the printing on the dial, I believe. But yet, one is one price and one is an awful lot more, like double the price, pretty much for difference in script and stampings on the back.
Doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's the way it is, man. Everything in life is driven by status. That's why people want money. People don't want money for money. They want money because money grants status. That's why people want rank and all that stuff.
I think it depends on the personality. I just want money so then I don't have to worry about things. Not that I want status.
I just read somewhere that it was a core motivator for humans.
I guess. I don't really care about status. So I guess I'm just special.
I don't know. We worry about the things we worry about. Again, with the drinking problem. I need a straw.
That's why I got the new water bottle with a straw.
Did you get it for me?
No.
Oh, well, then I have to get my own.
Exactly.
Aha. Now we know why I don't have one.
Below
I could just drill a hole.
1633.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hi, SNS, question for your next mail call. It seems I always have caseback questions, so here goes. What year was the 6306 Scuba Pro model made? I always thought they were made in 78 and 79, but recently I've seen one with a 76 caseback. Thoughts?
Oh, 76 is not atypical. I've seen them with a 76 caseback, sure, absolutely. The weird thing with Scuba Pro, if you're worried about that kind of stuff, is you gotta learn what the real thing looks like. I mean, you gotta really look at it and know what good looks like, because so far I haven't seen a decent fake. Seiko printing on the dial tends to be kind of puffy, especially with those. It was more heavily applied, so it's actually kind of domed, the color. You need to, I've had a few through here, and when you're looking at it and you compare it to a fake Scuba Pro, it's one of the first things I see. Super flat. And it's, I don't know, and usually it's kind of whiter. It's not a Seiko white, so, but that's the big deal. But anyway, what you're talking about, as far as I know, is normal in terms of production. In fact, a 76 one, dude, that's super early. That's pretty cool.
One other question. I have a 1967-62 MAS with a horseshoe caseback with the word Seiko in the middle, but no SUA symbol beneath it. Have you ever seen one without it? I see same year 1967 with the dolphin caseback as well.
I want to put in a segment here because it turns out, weirdly, I happen to have four 62 MASs in-house right now. 3 of them are dolphin casebacks, and only 1 is a horseshoe, so might be limited information, but what the heck. Well, unfortunately, thanks to my bad planning, one of the 4 62 MASs is somewhere where I can't get to it right now. So we're gonna have to make do with 3. This one has a bezel. It's right here. Yeah, you just you don't see these very often. That alone is Probably worth the price of admission. They come with their own handy dandy little retaining ring, which is different than the 6105 one, by the way. There you go. You should, the knurling on this is so sharp, I can feel it through my gloves, my finger cots rather. And this, after this watch is restored, it'll look like that. Really something, huh? Let me put that away. There. So anyway, 3 of these, but only one happens to be the Sewa caseback. The one that I can't get to is also a Sewa caseback, but I can't get to it. This is October 1966. Mine is May 1966. This one is May 1967. No Sewa symbol. This will clean up nicely. It has that nice rumbly fill in the clean lighter blue. Yeah, that'll clean up nicely. Well, I sure wish I could get to my stuff, but I can't. Okay, that is about that. Thanks for this brief look at these 62 MASs. Good times. I was able to get to my watches, so we now have 2, not 1, but 2 horseshoe casebacks. Nope. Nope. Aha. I should never play 3-card monte. They're only 100 and something units apart. 597, 402, 195. 195 units apart. Wow, that's something you don't see every day. And they're in pretty close condition too. These were in the factory on the same day. Either one of these parts could have got swapped back and forth. Isn't that wacky, huh? How long has it been since the last time these two were this close? Well, we know how long. Imagine their adventures. Well, there you go. Both of them are from the same month and have the same casebacks, and therefore neither of them have a Sewa symbol. There you go, see? Research in action.
Okay, now from the overdue review Rdunae video, St. Augustine. I just received the Rdunae R2X 6106 8110 homage Saturday 11/4. I ordered it based off your video thoughts on it. Thanks so much for your video. So
Which, wait, was 6106? It's 6106. I think you mean 6105 8110.
okay.
So it's 6105, so a Willard. Let me just read the thingy real quick.
I didn't finish reading it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you want to just start this part over?
Nope, let's just go for it.
Okay. So I had the Steel Dive SD 1970 homage and sold it and ordered the Rdunae, and I am so glad I did. I am seriously considering swapping the NH35 for a better movement, but I don't know much about the movements. Do you have any recommendations for such a project for a guy who is very mechanically inclined, even on small stuff, but doesn't have the watch experience as of yet? I will be ordering a time grapher. Recommendations on that also. I have seen the ones listed on Amazon for about 150 to 170. Are those good enough for the hobbyist?
Yeah, if you're talking about the Weishi number 1000, I used one for 13 years. So, and it just died. In fact, it still worked. It's just the screen died. Those things are fine. The only real doing watch work, the big hump to get over is size. So you're thinking about, you know, how small things are. You get good magnification that's comfortable. And when you bring a watch plate that's like this big and you really magnify it, and all of a sudden it's the size of like a dessert plate, things get a lot simpler. At that point, the next thing that's most critical It just takes time. You got to get good tweezers, and they're not expensive, and just work on practicing, picking up, little pile of screws, picking up one, putting it down, putting it back like this. Get a couple dead movements and fool around with it, because if they're dead, what are you going to do? Make them deader? So you can take them apart, put them together, fool around. You don't really need those skills to change the movement. If you are mechanically inclined, the biggest thing you'd need to be able to do is to switch the hands and the dial over to a new movement. You can just buy a 6R15. It's the NH15 or something like that. And they're hand winders. The only difference is if yours is date, you can put it onto the 15. 15 is date, 16 or 6 is date. You can put it on there, but there is an intermediate day correcting plastic wheel that is not included with those movements. It's the pin's right there. You just need to get one. But if you have some dead 7S movements lying around, it's the same piece that's on there. But besides that, you might even be able to transfer over from the old movement, actually. In fact, you would. Just transfer over from the NH35. Anyway, swap the movements.
The 6217-8001 restoration video from Van Wilder 1101. Hi Spencer, I noticed that these acrylic crystals, you press them back in. I got a replacement acrylic crystal for a watch that had a glass crystal and plastic gasket. Was now told the acrylic can't be used with a plastic gasket. Why is that? I've seen people press in and pop out acrylic crystals before. Is it because of the retaining ring? I'm confused as to why I can't see acrylic with a plastic gasket.
Okay, well, I will be, we should probably do a segment for it. But the short answer is that those acrylic crystals with the tension rings on the inside, they don't have a gasket. Their outer pushingness is enough that it excludes water. I mean, it's not the best sealed system in the world, but it works. The one with a glass with a plastic, that plastic ring is nylon gasket. So the way that works is the crystal and the gasket are a little bit, the crystal's actually a little bit, the gasket's slightly too thick. And the purpose of that is when you put it in and you seat that crystal, it basically squishes into the vinyl thing and it creates a seal. So it's a totally different tech. So I guess that's it. So if you wanted to put an acrylic crystal in one like that, you would have to get an acrylic crystal that accounts for the larger diameter, because you're not going to have that nylon gasket in there. If you do that, I don't know how big the sealing surface is. That's something to think about, but it could be done. It's going to be a lot of experimentation. It's not as easy as I think. Should I stop this? Am I going to do that segment?
Yeah, you said you were.
Oh, okay. True Pogue. Unrestored. Okay. This is not show and tell time. Okay, let's talk cases. All right, fighting with my thing. All right, so what do we got? Talking about cases. Different kinds of cases. I went and dug through the case box. Okay, so I went and dug through the case box. Here we are. What you're talking about is wanting to take a watch case that has a hard lax crystal in it and is held in place with a nylon gasket, which is what we're talking about here. This is either a 7009 or a 7S26, but there it is. This is a hard black nylon flat gasket. It's called an eye gasket because of the profile. And the way this works is this stuff is thicker than the gap into which it's going. And so you put that nylon ring in there when it's brand new, and then you have your handy dandy crystal press and go and you sink it in. And that seal, that gasket, it deforms to fit between the case and the crystal, and it doesn't come out. It's a great system. Seiko uses it on their 7000 7S26s and all their divers. Now, an acrylic crystal, it doesn't need that extra gaskety thing, the way these work. Okay, cool. Sorry, I had to think for a second. Okay, here we go. So this is a snap-in acrylic crystal. This watch would normally have a bezel, like this. The bezel isn't really necessary to keep the crystal in. There are older style crystals called they're like W crystals instead of T for tension. And those are ones like, well, like a Rolex actually, where the crystal fits over the inner sort of sealing surface of the watch, not inside of it. And then this bezel actually creates the force to force the crystal in and to press it tightly against the case to seal it. Most other people went this way, most other companies, which is where you get this thing. Are you ready for this magic? Okay. And that is where you get this crystal type. This is called T, tension. Okay, I got that out. There it is. So this is the tension ring. This is slightly, ever so slightly bigger in diameter in OD than this is on ID. So it forces in there a little bit, and that forces the crystal to open up a little bit. And then what happens is you have your handy dandy crystal press, and you can press it enough to get into the case, and it goes quirk. And so you can see this is the sealing surface. See the depth of that right there? That's the sealing face. And the crystal has to be able to spring out, and it springs out with a good amount of force, and basically to grip that wall. That's how it works. If you had one of these with the eye gasket that's in there, the eye gasket is meant to be dealing with something hard, not springy. So if you had this going in here, the crystal, it just wouldn't work. The crystal would probably end up pushing the nylon gasket out. So there are lots of middle sizes of crystals. You can get, 30, 30.1, 30.2, 30.3. And you could try that. The big question is, though, is the sealing surface on something like this deep enough to accept a crystal like this? It's a pain in the butt. I would, it could be done, but it's not anything I would really consider. What do we got here? We got us a bezel. Is that one there? Aha. I just was looking at this and I'm like, what am I looking at here? What am I looking at here? Okay, let's see what we've got going on. There is our cutout right there. This one might fight me. We will see. Did you move it all? Jeez. Not at all. I might have to pause the darn video. I hope not. Did it even move? A little. Well, that took a whole lot more work than it should have. It's amazing. People wear their watches and they just beat them to death. Like, look at this thing. Oh God, did the guy ever take it off? Get out. Off. Ah. Okay. Guy certainly never cleaned his watch. Yikes. Flat gasket with L crystal, right? I'm sorry. Out damn spot. Okay. Because why not? Let's look at the L gasket. Open, open, no, no. Is that a no? Singapore. I don't see any servicing marks. I think the guy wore this until it died, whatever it was. Wow, man, oh man. You see, folks, Hardlex, because Hardlex will scratch and take this amount of abuse, but because it has more flex, it's far less likely to shatter. Most of these probably would have shattered a, a sapphire. What in the heck is going on here? Are you glued on? Oops. Wow. Wow, you never see them that bad. That's crazy. What am I even looking at here? Is this a flat gaskety thing? Where's that crystal? Oh, look at that. It's got a little O-ring that was under here. Jeez, and it's been... Was it an O-ring or was it just a flat fat? Yeah, this was Viton. Man, whatever happened to destroy it like that? Anyway, that's an unusual one, but they have a lot of ones like that. Man, that's crazy, huh? All right, so that's a meandering story. Let's go.
6139 6005 Pogue evaluation. Salty crabs. That's odd that they smell like old tires on the inside. I wonder if it is caused by the off-gassing of the nitro finish or the plastic used in the inner bezel ring.
It's the exact same smell as when you're gonna go and like put air in your bike tire or something else like that, and you get that blast of inside the tire air. That's what it smells like. And then I'm assuming it's just outgassing from the rubber. It's unusual to get it from a 6139 because they have so little rubber, but there are some divers that I've cracked open that it's like, wow.
Frost that shroud. Nielsen Gupta. Hi SNS, where did you find the 1940s aircraft clock? What do you use it for?
I found the aircraft clock on eBay. They're called, the actual original term for those was Boden-Uhr. And that will bring up a lot of them because it says Boden-Uhr on them. I don't know, I just looked on eBay. There's, you know, they're not rare. What I use it for, it's just a clock.
We have clocks everywhere, but that's like from before watch time. I need to have a clock in every direction so I know what time it is, and then I find out that's actually an ADHD thing because you don't.
I didn't change that clock for daylight savings. I'll do that after this.
So because I always lose track of time. I'm one of those people that has alarms going off all the time to remind me to do things. So we have lots of clocks, and that is one of them.
What's funny is I actually have pretty good time sense, and I almost never look at my watch to see what the time is. I often forget that that's kind of what they're for. I look at them, but I don't read the time all the time.
You just admire them.
No, I look at them and I'm like, what time is it? And I get my phone. I don't know. It's just, you know, it's like asking a fish about water. There's just nothing but watches around here.
The 6159 7010 grandfather tuna post restoration. From sorry.
I got one of those coming in, by the way.
It's true. Makin 82. Hey Spencer, I took a 30-second rinse in the shower and forgot that my crown on my SLA 042 is unscrewed. How concerned should I be? Are these fairly waterproof still in the wind position?
This question is from like a month ago, so it's been an interesting fall. But The big problem with having a crown that's unscrewed or can move when you're near or under the assault of water is that it's waterproof unless it gets moved. That's why the 62 MASs, you know, which were just like that. The crown can turn and it's not locked. Same as the 6105s, both of them. So that's why they have a screw down crown. So a quick spray over a dive watch where the crown gasket is still engaged, it should be fine. Just let it dry out before you move it.
From the Bellmatic video, are you opposed to refinishing cases on scratched up vintage watches, i.e. restoring brushing where there was originally brushing and polishing where there is polished surface? Or are you one of those purists that never touches the case? Some people here insist on leaving them as is.
You know, if a watch is unwearable because it's not attractive, I can't stand it. I believe in competent, correct restoration.
And
so
that's really hard to do correctly.
Yeah, but there are people that can do it, and they can do it really, really well. So,
but not very many. We have seen many badly done case repolishes. They're awful.
Yeah, there's two that can actually do it. One is the Lapinist. I badly want to do work with them. But it's been probably a year and a half or so, and they were like, "Oh, I'm flat out. I can't do anything right now." It actually reminds me, I want to do them and like have them do some work for me. I think that'd be great because if it's done correctly, absolutely. I mean, if the watch is supposed to be functional and if the appearance is keeping you from wearing the thing, I've seen some beautiful case refinish jobs, and they're so much better than worn and beaten and hammered originals. And they're also a lot better if the case has been polished by somebody with a bench buffer, clean them up, make them better. I'd rather have it be attractive than original. Like I had that 5619, which I still miss, that beautiful 5619 GMT. I sold it because even though it was beautiful and I'm so proud of that restoration, the case was there's just nothing I could do about it because the outside damage was so pervasive. That watch, the dial had gotten smashed, and the original, it was bad. I would still have that watch, though I do still want that watch back. I would still have that watch if it weren't for the case.
Seiko's awesome casework 6309 7040 from 1981. Dennis Alg 1171. That Tissot is getting more and more appealing with every new video. How would you say today's Seiko casework compares to the past? Are there differences, and are they that significant? Based on my untrained eye and small sample size of watches, they're kind of an even split between modern and vintage.
I'd say so. There's certain things that they still do very well. Their brushed finishes on those SKXs, very typical for Seiko. Seiko typically does great casework. It's one of the things that, for the most part, they've never sort of failed on until the most recent 70-meter Sport Diver reissue. For some reason, that case, it's like they modeled the case off of a case that had already been refinished. That's what it looked like to me, because the sides are rounded and all the case lines are blurred. It's weird. I wonder what they modeled off of.
Off topic, how do you store your watches?
In piles. What I really want, and I keep wishing for this, I want a wall unit that's basically watch-sized boxes, vertical so you can see them all, but with the watches themselves basically in like a clear lucite like thing. So basically imagine you've got this box like so, and it's got this complete clear lucite box like this, so you can see the watch inside, but it's not in danger of falling out. So it kind of snap it and you go click and you take it out and you take your watch out and put the thing and put it back in. So you could look at all the watches in a single glance. I hate traditional watch boxes. They drive me nuts.
Also, any advice for storing watches in a humid environment, never lower than 75% yearly average humidity with a year low of around 65% in some summer months? You're talking to the wrong people.
You can hang a soaking wet towel on a hot summer day and it'll be dry in
an hour.
Like bone dry.
Yep.
I don't know. You got to have absorbent packs. Do they make watch boxes that have dehumidifiers? Refrigerators are excellent, extremely efficient dehumidifiers. You could store your watches in the fridge. I mean, it's not too cold for them. I wouldn't do it with quartz, but the only thing is the oil will be kind of sluggish.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Unless you're like me and accidentally went into a pool with your watch. And
She was on vacation. She was in Florida. Yeah, and she was wearing an old Seiko LCD that I'd never changed the seals on. I hadn't. And she was like, oh my God, I went into the pool with it. And I was like, just put it in the fridge.
And it was fine.
And it was fun.
Vacation. Okay, your MGB video. From Chris01, you just blew my mind. I've been watching your Seiko videos for some time.
Oh, thank you.
Because I love Seiko watches and I've been working on them longer than I've had an MGB GT. So it made me smile to see you working on an MGB GT. Will you be getting a Lotus Europa next?
I wouldn't get a Lotus Europa. I would absolutely drive a Lotus Elite. Like the Roger Moore one. I even have a matchbox of that car. I would drive a Lotus Elite. I remember when we were living in England and my siblings came over, I was in school, but they went up and visited the gosh darn Lotus factory. I didn't get to go.
You're the only one that would have cared.
I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I never did. Is that the end of it?
That's the end of it.
Well, I am semi-prepped to do more stuff on the MG. My hope this weekend is to drop the rest of the drivetrain, and I don't know, and then the car will be floating. I should have actually pre-ordered the Twizzly twirler so that I could, once that's down, I could bolt it up and start working on it. Got to cut out the rust and, that kind of stuff, and then, get it blasted to take all the paint off. But I'm actually really close to doing that. I don't know why I haven't been pushing ahead. I've just left it this way for a couple of weeks, not quite sure. But we're going to change that, that's for sure. I don't know. That's about it. Thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, bye. Hopefully everything was in the right speed this time.
Yes.
Okay, bye.